digital out of home is it is different to just out of home. It's come of age, if you like, as a medium. And I think it's interesting how it's starting to connect up with mobile more as well. So it bridges this gap between sort of print and film in a really interesting way. It's kind of created the third space. I think there's a sort of sense that you can jump on a gimmick, or you can make it sort of work with your client and for your brand, and not just for the sake of it. So I think it's maturing, actually, which is really interesting. I think doing stuff that is absolutely made for it rather than adapted, and I think, what we start doing now is maybe shooting stuff that is absolutely shot for it rather than adapting something that sort of wasn't meant for it, because it's an important enough medium in itself. It's going to be interesting this year at Cannes to see, because I think as a category, the digital out of home and digital out of home is such a big part of that now, is one of the most dynamic categories. It's probably the one that's got a lot of diversity within it, and probably I suspect we're going to see some of the very best work in that category. It's really exciting. So I think there'll be lots of debate, and I think it'll be a really hard one to win it at. What I quite like about it as a piece of broadcast medium, as we've traditionally used it, it becomes something that can have a conversation with you. So I think that's going to be interesting, and I think how it connects up with different devices, how it can be a voice on behalf of you and amplify people's personal voice, how it can be adaptive to who's looking at it, how it can be adaptive to the weather, how it can be adaptive, so it's going to be able to deliver incredibly relevant messages. I think creatives love it as a medium because it's highly adaptive, it's highly innovative, and it's quite and it's very visible. I think it definitely is a medium that brings fame, and I think it is for brands and creatives, and I think that's why you see in Cannes it's a category that's exploded, actually, and probably has moved on. And I think this year is going to be really interesting, because I think this last year or two, I think we have as an industry have seen its potential in a way that maybe we hadn't before.